Welcome to the people of the Kingdom of Canada. All of our VIPs, welcome. You are our future. You are our most valuable resources. And to our ancestors, welcome. Without you, we would not be here today in this era in Queen Romana's timeline. Thank you. And to our honored and special guests watching online, our heads of states, our presidents, our prime ministers, our crown princes, our crown princesses, majesties, kings and queens, emperors and empresses, and welcome to all of the continents, the 7 continents, the North and South America, Africa, Asia, Australia, Eurasia, the Middle East, and the Antarctica. To all of our ministers, provincial and city coordinators, it's my honor and privilege to introduce to you today His Excellency John Bruce Davies, the Deputy Minister of Finance, for our session today. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Wendy and Charlton. Grand Rising, greetings and welcome all IMs of the Kingdom of Canada and all IMs around the world. Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didulo and my fellow ministers. In having the honor of being appointed by Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didulo as Deputy Minister of Finance, I have recently taken an oath in ceremony as the Deputy Finance Minister of the Kingdom of Canada under natural law. I would like to repeat that oath to all IMs of the Kingdom of Canada for clarity and for some of you that may have missed it. Here is my oath. I am His Excellency John Bruce Davies, swear by benevolent Grand Master Creator to be loyal to the Kingdom of Canada's nationals, the Kingdom of Canada and Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didulo, not to divulge any of the state secrets, to maintain its interests and regulations internally and externally, and to perform my duties with honor, honesty, integrity, and sincerity. As Deputy Minister of Finance, number 1, harm not we the people of the Kingdom of Canada, and Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didulo, and we the people of the world. As Deputy Minister of Finance, number 2, I will invest domestically, we the people's money, $1 trillion in investment wealth funds in major infrastructure, oil, gas, liquid natural gas, precious metals, critical minerals, and AI chip development. As Deputy Minister of Finance, I will protect we the people's wealth, investment in fraudulent and failed green technologies not. As Deputy Minister of Finance, all project funding must have 3 funding phases with quality control and safety auditors and independent financial audits certified by PMIs or financial forensic auditors. And number 5, over budget, unauthorized spending, and corruption 0. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
Thank you for that.
I would like to start by saying to all IMs of the Kingdom of Canada that in the position of Deputy Finance Minister, I will have the honor of working very closely with Her Majesty Queen Romana Didulo and all of my fellow ministers and ministries. One of my priorities as Deputy Finance Minister is to preserve the wealth of the Kingdom of Canada, the wealth of IMs of the Kingdom of Canada, and to educate all IMs of the Kingdom of Canada to learn to shift their mindset from lack to abundance. The old system has always projected the mindset of lack onto we the people.
So we're going to go into a little bit about the lack.
An example of lack is oil. Not too many IMs, I'm sure, know this, but oil is the second most readily available liquid on the planet. And oil companies, OPEC was started to create this lack, this feeling of lack. Fossil fuels, they said oil was a fossil fuel, so it was very rare. It's made from dinosaur bones, you know, rotting, but that's not the case. But the oil companies make huge profits on refining oil. If you say a barrel of oil is $100, the oil companies can refine that barrel of oil for $5. So they're making huge profits, and we the people are paying for it at the pumps. That's only one example of lack projected onto the people.
So my understanding is that wherever there's water, there's oil. So we have absolutely no shortage.
That is correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didelot has educated myself as Deputy Finance Minister that I will be held accountable to we the people of the Kingdom of Canada to ensure no over budget, no unauthorized spending, and no corruption. The Kingdom of Canada is and always has been an extremely wealthy country. Every province, every territory is and always has been abundant in natural resources. Let me repeat that. Every province and territory is and always has been abundant in natural resources. The Kingdom of Canada is rich in oil, gas, gold, silver, platinum, uranium, diamonds, radium, cadmium. Those are just a few. The Kingdom of Canada is the largest exporter of potash. Natural resources do not only consist of metals and precious gems, it also is the fisheries, the forestry, farming is also a natural resource. In the Kingdom of Canada, Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didelot has issued several decrees covering a variety of different issues. As Deputy Minister of Finance, numerous of these decrees would touch on the Ministry of Finance. My priority here today is to enlighten IMs of the Kingdom of Canada to the incredible overhaul of all systems in the Kingdom of Canada. For numerous decades, we have watched the old system continuously tell us there are budget shortfalls and the books cannot be balanced. Meanwhile, the old system used we the people's money for their own gain. Large sums of money disappearing, money laundering, and corruption that always seem to be met with a blind eye. We'll pay very close attention as I enlighten you, IMs of the Kingdom of Canada, to the mastery and love displayed in the following decrees issued by Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didelot.
So is it my understanding that all over the years that we've been just lied to and no one kept any of them accountable for where all of our money that should have came to we the people went?
Yes, pretty much everything we've been lied to, retirement funds, pension funds, they're not there. They're
gone?
They're non-existent.
They're gone?
Yes.
But in the new era, which we are in now, we have abundance, so we don't have to think about that right now.
We will have abundance. We
have abundance.
do have abundance going forward. That's
Yes,
most certain.
thank you.
One of the royal decrees is Royal Decree number 80, and this is backing our money with gold and silver once again. And that is effective May 14th, 2022, retroactive to July 1867. Officially instituting gold and silver as collateral 100% for every dollar issued in the Kingdom of Canada. Furthermore, printing and use of fiat currency in the Kingdom of Canada, that's money printed out of thin air, is prohibited and unlawful.
So are you able to give us an explanation about more about the currency and fiat? Because I'm sure that there are some IMs that are not really aware.
I would love to do that.
Okay, thank you.
So I would like to explain the terms of the gold standard and fiat currency to all IMs in the Kingdom of Canada that may not be familiar with these terms. The gold standard refers to the system by which the value of currency was defined in the terms of gold. It's a benchmark for currency based on gold. Historically, it played a significant role in global economics. The excuse that gold mining was too expensive and not always a stable way forward for economic reasons was the excuse fed to populations. As a result of the US moved away from the gold standard from domestic transactions in 1933 and ended international convertibility of the dollar to gold in 1971. The old system changed our money system to the fiat money system. Fiat currency is a type of currency that is not backed by precious metal, such as gold or silver. Instead, its value derives from the trust that people place in it. Fiat money is only worth the paper that it is printed on. The old system printed the words legal tender on the bills to create the illusion that it had value. Fiat money gave central bankers greater control over the economy because the central bankers can control how much money is printed, therefore controlling world economies. One risk of fiat money is that the old system prints too much money, which leads to hyperinflation. In turn, your dollar has less buying power. But the corporations are making huge profits. The old system was bought and paid for by large corporations decades ago. Taking the currency off the gold standard was intentional and planned as it would benefit the central bankers. This was the scheme of all schemes. This is a form of fraud in which belief in the success of a non-existent enterprise, this being our countries, for instance, the Charter of Rights or the Constitution, all countries around the world were all corporations. A corporation is a non-entity. Countries were non-entities, they were corporations. And corporations want profit for corporation, not for the population.
Well, that's very interesting. So the fiat dollar is worth nothing. So as they sunk us further and further and further into debt, it's we, the people, that suffered, not the corporations. Am I correct in saying that?
Exactly. So if you buried an ounce of gold in a fiat dollar in 20 years, you dig it up, you would have the gold, but you wouldn't have the fiat currency.
Or it would probably
Gold doesn't lose its value.
no, so the fiat currency would probably be worth pretty well next to nothing, but the gold still holds its value and it still rises.
Exactly.
Correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
The economy rolled along decade after decade. Every part of the economy was built on the value of paper money that wasn't worth anything. Small companies and hardworking families would grow, say, over a 10-year term. You could almost set your calendar this cycle. Then the old system would either create recession, depression, or worst of all, start wars by the amount of dollars printed and circulated in the economy. When the people could not pay debts owed to the banks would then foreclose on real estate or hard assets that the people had loans on with the banks. Banks and corporations made out like bandits, making huge profits. At the same time, the military complex were also making millions and billions of dollars selling weapons and securing contracts to rebuild after invading and destroying countries for corrupt regime change. But that's another topic for another day.
So we're seeing a pattern. They just keep doing it over and over and over because it works, right?
Money for the corporation is
Money for the corporation, and they know how to make it because they keep perfecting it over and over with the patterns.
And that's why central banks were created, so they could control the economy. So you can make businesses roll along, for it could even go 20 years, but you can bet your boots you're going to have a recession or a depression, and then that's when the banks take back what the assets that you've borrowed money against, and those are the hard assets, and then they sell, or they have those hard assets. They make out like a bandit.
That's right. And if we, the people, cannot keep up with their responsibilities that they've taken on for hard assets, then they just take them back.
Right. Kind of a Ponzi scheme comes to mind.
Well, I really would like you to explain a Ponzi scheme because I'm not 100% sure on exactly what it is. And I'm pretty sure that there's some IMs out there that would like you to explain that.
It's called a pyramid scheme. Also, is another form of it. But a Ponzi scheme is a form of fraud in which belief in the success of a non-existent enterprise is fostered by the payment of quick returns for the first investors from the money invested by the second investors or the later investors. All retirement investments were all geared to make corporations wealthy. They could take in money, invest it for themselves. The money that was invested later on was given to the first to hide the whole thing.
Oh. So when we're talking about pyramid schemes, they used to have them going around where they would send these letters out, and you first 5 people send $100, whatever. So is that basically what you're talking here?
Yes.
The top guys get the money, and then as it dwindles out, it dwindles out.
It's more like an upside down. The guy at the bottom is making all the money because people are dumping money into it.
Okay, all right.
So going forward, countries that were Commonwealth countries were all ruled by the old system. Even our neighbors to the south have been duped with this constitution. Yes, governed by the old system, just like all the other Commonwealth countries. Once the gold standard was abolished, this was a license to print as much money as they wanted, controlling the financial system in whichever way they wanted to. Only the whole system is built on the volume of debt that the Federal Reserve creates. The more debt, the more interest collected to pay the previous liabilities. The financial system reached a critical point where the debts would and could never be paid off. The bonds that these countries owed, the issuer of these bonds, were called in the end of the reserve currency and petrodollar. If you do the research, you will find the truth pertaining to the world gold reserves. The large pension funds are all gone long ago. All pension monies paid into the old system for retirement pensions, it's all gone, unbeknownst to the average IM. We are in a new era. Her Majesty Queen Ramana Digilo has created decrees for all IMs in the Kingdom of Canada under natural law.
So as we go forward now, and are we going to go into some of the royal decrees?
Yes, I have.
And I would like to recap on them, put them into your own words, and explain to we the people exactly what these new royal decrees under natural law will mean for we the people moving forward and moving us, that we are in abundance right now and moving forward into the abundance.
Right. Some of the decrees I will read one or two word for word because there's so much bang in them that I can't do it justice by putting it in my own words. Here's a royal decree number 58. This gives ownership of the kingdom's natural resources back to we the people. The wealth from these resources should have been given to we the people from the beginning. And IAMs aren't aware of that, but that's the truth. This is abundance for all IAMs in the Kingdom of Canada. Another royal decree, Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didulo, under natural law, is Royal Decree number 108. This decree I'm going to read in its entirety because of the sheer impact that it will have on each and every IM in the Kingdom of Canada. This decree, number 108, effectively recognizes each and every Canadian national, baby girl, baby boy, lady, man, alive and living, natural blood flowing in their bodies, residing in the Kingdom of Canada as de facto and lawful owner, shareholder, beneficiary, trustee, and guardian of all natural resources, assets, wealth, national banks, provincial and territorial, banks and treasury banks in the Kingdom of Canada. Wow.
I'd like you to read that again.
Royal Decree number 108. This decree effectively recognizes each and every Canadian national, baby girl, baby boy, lady, and man alive, living, natural blood flowing in their bodies, residing in the Kingdom of Canada as de facto and lawful owner, shareholder, beneficiary, trustee, and guardian of all natural resources, assets, wealth, national banks, provincial and territorial, banks and treasury banks in the Kingdom of Canada.
So a Canadian national is living in the Kingdom of Canada.
That sounds like abundance to me.
I think so.
That's pretty powerful. Furthermore, every February 3rd and August 3rd of every calendar year, the said owners are to be issued their profit shares from all natural resources extracted and sold from all domestic, any and all private, public companies in all industries in the Kingdom of Canada and foreign investments.
So I'm not going to ask you to calculate how much that would be for each and every Canadian national, but I'm imagining that it's quite abundant.
I believe that'll be extremely, extremely abundant. There's going to be a lot of happy IMs in the Kingdom of Canada. And the said profit shares or royalty checks will all be of equal amount, are to be issued to every individual's names including newly manifested baby girl and baby boy. These are non-transferable, meaning trouble in the home, nobody can take anybody's royalties from them.
And
They
all-
always belong to that person.
And all the VIPs are equal and have equal amounts, and it's theirs.
I'm sure with this abundance, there'll be less and less problems in the home going forward.
I'm sure there will be.
There's going to be a lot of happy homes. Okay, going forward, I'm sure I can speak for many IMs. In the past, there never seemed to be any accountability or repercussion for the overspending, money laundering, and offshore and onshore bank accounts, hedge monies, bonuses, etc. of the old system and large corporations. Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didulo has issued several royal decrees under natural law. As I speak, there are a variety of wonderful forensic audits taking place. Here are some of the royal decrees under natural law that have been issued pertaining to forensic audits. These forensic audits will expose where all the monies have gone in past decades. How many times have you thought, how can they get away with that? Where's all the money? So these forensic audits are going to expose where all the money has gone in the past. The Ministry of Forensic Audits have been very, very busy. No company or individual will be able to hide from these forensic audits. It's time to pay the piper. Royal Decree number 154 is forensic audits of all hospitals, public, private, as well as senior care facilities, to determine who among them, if any, receives subsidies, financial compensation, funding, bonuses, etc., from pharmaceutical companies, foundations, public or private, NGOs, and or individuals. These audits must be performed by international independent auditors.
And that's going to expose everything, which has just happened in the last couple of years.
Well, this scandemic we've just been through, it's common knowledge now that hospitals and nurses and doctors were incentivized to give the jab to the population.
Correct?
I'm sure there's within the hospital's administration the same.
And even if you did come in with a couple, like a broken leg or whatever, and had surgery and something went wrong, it was always put on there. It was something else and not the broken leg that caused death, right?
Exactly.
So that was an incentive for more funds to be pushed that way. And also, the coroners also were pushed to put it on the death certificate. So it was quite, what they did was absolutely despicable anyway. So thank you for mentioning that.
It's amazing what, a little hush money, or as Her Majesty says, a little brown envelope.
Right.
Will do to corrupt people. So going forward, not in the Kingdom of Canada.
Not in the Kingdom of Canada, no. Going forward, we are for we the people. If it's not good for we the people, it's not done. And if it's not good for the Kingdom of Canada, it's not done. Correct?
Going forward, yep.
Thank you.
Another royal decree is number 156. And this is financial forensic audits of the books of every province, every territory, every city, every town, and every village across the Kingdom of Canada. Tribes and bands who receive funding for their members from we the people are also included in these forensic audits. They make that clear. Tribes and bands who receive funding from the members for their members from we the people are also included in these forensic audits. Forensic audits from 1973 to 2023 inclusive. That's 50 years. Let that sink in. How's that for accountability and transparency?
Yes, and we are all Indigenous, not just the select few.
Yes,
correct?
I will get into that a little later.
Okay, thank you.
The Royal Decree 47 is forensic audit of all we the people's money in the Kingdom of Canada. So financial forensic audit of the Kingdom of Canada's pension funds. We were speaking about that earlier.
Yes.
They're all gone. The Kingdom of Canada's national and international assets, holdings, and investments. The Kingdom of Canada's national wealth, including natural resources, real estate properties, accounts, reserves, and gold holdings. The Kingdom of Canada's investment funds, provincial, territorial, and national. So I'm sure they're going to dig up some corruption.
Pretty interesting, right?
I have a funny feeling. That's pretty much auditing everything. right from top to bottom. This next decree deals with what is referred to as ghost accounts.
So what is the ghost account?
A ghost account is a fictitious entity. So it could be a business, it could be a person, it could be, I'll give you a few examples. A ghost business, a business accounts payable. So maybe overseas you have somebody that has opened the name of a business, but there's no business running there, but they have accounts payable.
Oh,
So they're waiting for their check. They haven't done anything, produced anything, or given you any product.
so is that money just siphoned off somewhere else from?
Yeah, it's a great way to launder money.
Oh,
So if you want to hide some money, it's another avenue to put money through to hide it. They call it washing.
And yeah, I've always wondered, why do they call it laundering?
Because the more hands the money passes through, the less chance of tracking it.
Oh, okay.
Is the thought behind that. You have ghost contractors. So somebody that's supposedly done some work for a company that didn't really do anything. There's a check cut for them. There's subcontractors, contractors. There's foreign bankers. Here's another good one is if somebody's deceased, they still use their name.
Mhm.
They can still receive pension checks or any check. It's another avenue to launder money through. Very clever.
Yeah, so there was one way that I did see that people, like, let's just take, for example, you've got a drug dealer, right? So he gives money to several of the friends. They all go to the casino, they plug the money into the machines, and they only play a little bit, and they go and cash out so that money looks like it's over there and it's not here, so it's gone.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's a real simple way to do it, but how
Well,
come people don't pick up on that?
here's another one that they don't pick up on either is when you walk through the mall, and I'm not going to mention a specific product. I'm going to use widgets, but you see a store in a mall. The rent for that store for a month is $12,000 or $15,000, and they're selling, which you think to yourself, how the heck can this company pay that rent and make a profit while selling what they're selling in that store? It just doesn't even make sense. So these stores in the malls are used as fronts,
Oh, okay.
again, to launder money.
Hmm,
Right?
interesting.
So these next royal decrees stand out as we, the people of the Kingdom of Canada, would welcome this particular audit, as in so many instances, it's so easy to hide crimes in electronics of large corporations, personal computers, and cell phones. Cell phone logs, actually. Royal Decree number 193 is an audit of all Crown corporations, executive board of directors, directors' performance, financial compensation, budgets, bonuses, and expenses. All monies will be accounted for, and depending if there is corruption or not, will determine the fate of many high-paid CEOs, board of directors, co-chairs, or upper middle management, etc. Time to see who was or wasn't doing their job, and what they could possibly be doing to earn such an extravagant bonus. And a big one, what were they spending their expense accounts on? Again, time for transparency. The old system government being controlled by the central banks and bankers is now a thing of the past. No more central bankers, back office meetings where they switch keys that allow them to transfer and launder billions and trillions of dollars with the push of a button. Again, old system greed. Royal Decree number 212. Employ and deploy cybersecurity independent forensic auditors full and complete head to tail, top to bottom, forensic audit of cyber infrastructure, financial systems and structure, and information technology, IT, and including the commercial use of information technology of all Kingdom of Canada assets. Employ and deploy information technology independent forensic auditors to audit from top to bottom information technology of all Kingdom of Canada assets. Note, information technology, IT, is the use of computers, storage, networking, and other physical devices, infrastructure, and processes to create, process, store, and secure and exchange all forms of electronic data. Typically, IT is used in the context of business operations as opposed to technology used for the personal or entertainment purposes. So that means all the computers, all the electronics, all the cell phones will all be audited. I bet you there's a lot of stuff hiding in there.
So, what if they tried to get rid of their SIM cards and all of that, but it's still stored somewhere, right? It never goes away, right?
Yeah, this isn't what they used to call in-house audit. No, these are real forensic audits. These are diggers. They're gonna dig. They're gonna find it all. So going forward, the people of Canada will know what's been going on.
People of the Kingdom of Canada will know.
Yes, we the people.
We the people.
Kingdom of Canada. Another decree, it's a different topic, but again, concerning financial corruption. The water, the air, the land, the sky, the birds, and animals have all been here. And they have all been here before any of us inhabited this earth. Therefore, we are all indigenous to this earth, not just a select few. Therefore, we are all entitled to the earth equally. No one gets special rights over any of it. Under these treaties, so many IMs have been deceived into believing these false narratives. So much of we the people's monies have been intentionally wasted due to payments made to so-called indigenous band leaders. And the funds in turn are not fairly distributed to their band members. Again, greed and corruption. Same as the old system. Well, the time has come to find out where those billions and billions of dollars have gone in the past many, many decades. No stone unturned.
So the band leaders would take all the money and they'd have everything that they wanted, and the people in the
I think part of what was going on was the band members or chiefs would be allotted a certain payment from the government, and some of it would go to the band members, but a lot of it would be tucked somewhere.
but those funds would be for all of the people in the band.
All the band
Correct.
members on the reserves.
But did they all get the exact same treatment as the band leader?
No. And a lot of the indigenous people, I think a lot grew to become not so happy with the band leaders.
Yeah,
Starting to figure it out that they're
not treated equally.
treated, and some being punished actually for certain things that go on in the reserves.
Yes.
So
Well, I'm glad to hear that that's all coming to a big end.
so under Royal Decree 195, under natural law, all treaties, contracts previously signed by foreign corporations and their foreign owners who masqueraded as we the people's government are null and void, retroactive July 1st, 1700. The Indian Act is null and void forthwith in the Kingdom of Canada.
Well,
So that's gonna raise some eyebrows.
it's gonna rock a few boats.
Yeah, definitely gonna rock some boats. But again, the birds, the water, the sea is all here long before anybody was here. So
Because we're all indigenous.
right, doesn't matter what color or flavor you are, we're all indigenous.
Yes, and that's why our Queen Romana is the chief indigenous, as stated on the royal decrees, where she states all of her titles, correct?
Very correct. She's the indigenous chief.
Indigenous chief, and we're indigenous.
Another very important topic going forward in the Kingdom of Canada is job creation. Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didelot has created several decrees pertaining to job creation. We, the people of the Kingdom of Canada, have witnessed and experienced the decline and eventually the demise of all good-paying jobs disappear overseas because of the large corporation greed. Large corporations' loyalty to we, the people of the Kingdom of Canada, became obsolete as the old system intentionally dismantled the manufacturing base in our country and became subservient to other foreign interests for their own financial gain. Again, Her Majesty Queen Romana Didelot, with financial brilliance and foresight, has created and issued several royal decrees for we, the people of the Kingdom of Canada, which will make each and every I am of the Kingdom of Canada abundant, not only in wealth, but also in gifting back to we, the people in the Kingdom of Canada, the choice as to work in a field or create your own business in a field of work that you are passionate about.
Well, that's going to be for we the people moving forward. You couldn't get into a business yourself because by the time you had to pay all of the different business licenses and this and that, you couldn't afford it.
Well, number one, you get into business to make money. When you start a business, chances are you don't have money.
That's why you're getting into
You go
business.
to the bank to borrow money so you can start a business. Well, the corporations, the banks, they're all in it together. So they made. I was a small business owner for 33 years, and when I started out, I couldn't borrow money. I just had to work, and I built my company, and that's what I did. Nobody was going to give you a loan because you didn't have anything to back it with.
No.
So here are some of the royal decrees issued pertaining to job creation and wealth investment in the Kingdom of Canada, issued by Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didelot. And these are in point form, but I want you to really listen to these decrees and let this information sink in. All the decrees can be referred or referenced to at thekingdomofcanada.ca. These decrees are huge for we the people of the Kingdom of Canada. There's the economy is just going to explode.
So please repeat that site again, and this is all under natural law. And can you spell it, please?
The website to look up all decrees from Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didelot's natural law are at thekingdomofcanada.ca. That's THEKINGDOMOFCANADA.ca.
Thank you.
Thekingdomofcanada.ca.
And how many royal decrees are you thinking there are now? The last count, I think, was.
I think we're up to
228.
228 or.
You have a new one that you want to read later, correct?
Yeah, depending on time.
Oh, I'm sure we'll make time for that.
I hope we do. Okay, so the first decree is investment in housing. $1.5 trillion backed by gold and silver, returning respect, privilege, entitlement, honor, and dignity to we the people. So Her Majesty Queen Ramana di Jallow wants everybody, every IM in the Kingdom of Canada, to have their own home.
And who doesn't want their own home? That's the dream. That's what you work forward to,
Well,
correct?
the home is the heart of the family, right? That's where the home, the family creates
And security, love,
the memories.
pride.
Yeah, it's all in the home. There's just love in there. Investment in Well, which is health renamed, $8.6 billion backed by gold and silver. Drug addiction, illicit and or prescribed, and other addictions will be the thing of the past. There'll be programs to help people get through these addictions, psychological help.
Yes, and there also will be the med beds once they've worked around their psychological and addiction problems.
Right. It's funny you say that because the next one is investment in Well, the med beds,
Yes,
$5 billion backed by gold and silver. There'll be investment in poverty elimination, $100 billion yearly backed by gold and silver in water and food. Poverty will be a thing of the past. No more people on the streets. All the sad, seeing people on the streets, just laying on the sidewalk with blankets over them, people walking over them, trying to stay warm in the winter. That's a thing of the past. No more. Her Majesty Queen Ramana di Jallow has put an end to it. Investment in home education. $938 billion backed by gold and silver. Zero funding for the traditional dumbed down training. End of programming.
yes, so now with our ministers all in the different ministries, we can all work together and have the abundance and move forward and bring up the vibration of each and every IM and just be happy.
Correct. Going forward, children will be homeschooled from home and will be paid to, the parents will be paid to homeschool their own children.
Now, that's something that I would have really liked to do, but at that point in time, it was a, financial situation. You had to go out and work, but the children will benefit from that because they're in their own environment and they will excel at what they're good at. And the parents love, and it's just going to be absolutely wonderful for the VIPs, which are our future.
Right. Nobody knows their children better than the parents. The old system, drop your kid off at school for 8 hours a day and be trained. Be trained to get into the workforce and just get a job and pay taxes. That's what the old system did. So going forward, children are going to be homeschooled by the parents, and the parents can see what the child desires and what the child excels at, and this will make very happy children.
And if you think about the younger children now that are in the countries, the outside of the city, like I'm talking about in the country, like a kindergarten child, there has to be, and I know I looked after my 4 nieces and nephews, I had to have those kids on the bus at 7:15 to go to school for the whole day, which meant I had them up at 6 a.m. in the morning, and they never got back till 3:45. So can you imagine a day for a 6-year-old or a 5-year-old? They would just come back exhausted.
Right.
No time to enjoy anything, no time to play, just have your dinner, have a bath, and go to bed and do it all again.
So what happens is they get sat in front of the TV,
Well,
and then they're trained by the TV.
well, they have all those special shows, what are they,
Yeah.
that they watch, the Power Puppies or whatever.
Another decree is infrastructure and highways. 550 billion backed by gold and silver, 6 lanes each way, to accommodate different modes of transportation, including flying cars and first responders. Queen Ramana Didilo has told us that ambulances will have a med bed in them.
Yes, and they will have a special lane. So there will be no problems on how fast they have to get somewhere or get back. I myself, I'm not really interested in a flying car yet because I still like the driving part of it, but that's all exciting, isn't it? It's
Well,
like the Jetsons.
It's definitely going to be interesting. I'm
Right.
sure there's lots of people looking forward to it.
And then 2 of the lanes I'm understanding are for transportation of foods and goods.
Goods and transport goods, yeah.
All towards abundance for we the people.
Like you said, the economy is, it's going to be mind blowing, I think, when it starts to just go. Investment in the construction of national economic corridors. So that's your pipelines, oil pipelines, gas pipelines, liquid gas pipeline, fishing, clean drinking water, and sewage. All these pipelines will run across the country. So nobody's ever, if one province doesn't have it, another province will have it. So everybody, there'll never be a shortage. Abundance.
Abundance.
Abundance,
Just
abundance.
imagine clean drinking water. Even now we buy bottled water, but it's there. It's there for us, the people, and it's clean.
Right, and I believe there's a decree stating that all drinking water pipes will be changed to copper.
Yes, because that increases the energy for the water for we the people.
So that's going to be very interesting. That'll put a lot of people to work going forward.
Going forward.
Infrastructure investments, say processing plants, manufacturing plants, highways, seaports, airports, Maglev Trains, etc. All these big, huge projects are going to put people to work. It's investment in the Kingdom of Canada. It's all plus going forward.
And going forward, your ministry is huge. So I'm happy that you brought all of this information, and I see that you have more, so I'll let you go ahead.
There's so many decrees. I could go on and on and on, because most of the decrees in some way do touch on finance, but I've kind of picked some of the more ones that stood out for me.
And also to explain to the IMs, because there are things in there that, you have explained well, like Ponzi and pyramid and ghost accounts, which I'm sure that some of the IMs did not know about.
Well, my goal was to show the people that the mindset of these companies ripping us off, these corporations ripping us off, taking our money, investing it offshore, all that stuff is over, no more. And we're going to find out, because the boss has created these decrees that these companies, etc., are going to be forensically audited, and we're going to find out where it's all gone. So it's going to be really fascinating.
And to sit down and to go through a binder with all of these royal decrees, it's just absolutely amazing to read the wording and how it reflects to we the people, and how every little inch of it has been covered. So it would be for the IMs that are listening, that if they did go and look on the site and start reading the royal decrees, start teaching your children the royal decrees.
I personally, if you sat at a book of decrees and you read that book, you will cry. There's no way you can't.
Wow.
It's unbelievable what Queen Ramana Digital is doing for the Kingdom of Canada
We the people,
and
for
we the people.
humanity.
Yeah, it's mind blowing, really.
It is.
Another, we're gonna build 3 megaports. This is a $450 billion project backed by gold and silver. This is not only going to open up shipping around the world. Canada will become one of probably the biggest, if not the biggest, one of the biggest players in the shipping industry. The products, we will know what's in those products or in those ships even before they come near our country, our shores, because of the technology that's going to be used to detect what's in these boats or these ships. These ships will be built much, much larger than they are now, and they will carry much more product around the world. And the other thing is, by going through our north, it'll shave off 2 weeks of shipping.
So that's huge. 2 weeks of shipping.
Correct. And another restriction for shipping industry is the Suez Canal, because the ships can only be a certain size to go through that canal. So Canada, the Kingdom of Canada, is going to build big ships,
Mega ships.
mega ships, and that will be very bring lots of abundance to the Kingdom of Canada.
Lots of abundance, lots of work for we the people. It's just all good for we the people and the Kingdom of Canada.
It most certainly is. We're going to have investment in the construction of the Maglev train across the country, which is $15 billion backed by gold and silver. Her Majesty Queen Ramana Digital has also given we the people of the Kingdom of Canada free transportation. So planes, trains, buses will all be free.
And on those buses and trains and maglev and everything, there will also be a med bed. So you never have to worry about anything that would go wrong with your body, because you could just be in a med bed on a train or a plane.
That statement alone is just, it's mind blowing. You never, you don't have to wait for an ambulance to come. There's always a med bed there.
Right, even a simple fact of tripping off a sidewalk and breaking an arm or something,
Yeah.
you can have it fixed like right now.
Get you fixed up by the time you get to your destination.
Correct.
There's going to be wealth creation in farming. There's $750 billion for farming. There's going to be free irrigation for all farmers in the Kingdom of Canada. So there won't be any more fighting over water. Who's got the water? Who doesn't have the water? Who has to pay for the water? Who doesn't have to pay for the water? It's all going to be free for the farmers, which will make our crops just flourish.
Yes, so I come from a background in ranching, and I know how important the water is, because we had to dig dugouts so that the snow and that we could keep the water. We had to haul water. My dad lived off the grid. So having water for your livestock was very important. And the expense of transporting big tanks of water for their troughs and that was huge. And then in the wintertime, we're out there with the power saw and the pick and cutting through the ice so that the livestock could drink. With all of this being here for the future, I'm really excited for we the people that have the love for ranching and farming, which I do.
And as ministers, we have the absolute honor of doing this. Huge responsibility for this, and I'm honored to have this chance to do this for we the people of the Kingdom of Canada and for Her Majesty
I
Queen Ramana Digital.
Feel your enthusiasm.
as they said, we have the shipping and megaports. That's $1.5 trillion going to be spent on that. Pipelines, $1.6 billion across Canada. Military modernization is $550 billion. Forestry and hemp industry, $6.5 billion. Mining is going to be $250 billion. AI chip technology. Right now, I think it's Taiwan that's making all the chips. We're in the game now. So that's going to be great going forward. And this is all backed by gold and silver. Wealth Investment Fund. We the people of the Kingdom of Canada, $1 trillion. This is to be invested in the Kingdom of Canada. Owners, trustees, beneficiaries, shareholders, and managers are the Canadian nationals. We the people of the Kingdom of Canada. Investments in oil, gas, liquefied natural gas, mining, manufacturing, extraction, and processing of precious metals, the megaports, and farming. When have you ever heard of this amount of money being spent on shipping and highways, infrastructure, military, and other projects? I would like to say to any IM in the Kingdom of Canada or around the world that the old system is no more because of Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Digiolo and natural law moving forward. Some IMs will be asking themselves, where is all this money coming from? It's already here. You have to research and educate yourself to what has really gone on with all our money for hundreds of years. No one will do it for you. That's the beauty of it. Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Digiolo has already told you the true meaning of a queen. So go find the answer. And I can assure you there is no crown covered in jewels involved.
So, with saying that, I think that we've covered quite a few subjects and topics today. So, is there anything that you would just like to recap, and we will bring our sessions to an end?
How much time would I have to do that?
We're just going to bring it to an end for today.
Okay. Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Digiolo, having we the people of the Kingdom of Canada's best interests at heart, will never allow these things to happen ever again. The Kingdom of Canada first. I would like to personally thank Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Digiolo, Commander-in-Chief, Head of Government, Head of State, President, National Indigenous Chief, and Queen of the Kingdom of Canada, for giving we the people of the Kingdom of Canada true freedom. The new era is here in the Kingdom of Canada. True freedom for all IMs in the Kingdom of Canada is here. The end of the financial slavery system we have been enslaved in for over 100 years. The kingdom where every mouth is fed, every single IM owns their own home. Our children will be free to dream and create, use their imaginations again. There is no limit to what a child can dream, where the question of what do you want to be when you grow up has meaning again. IMs in the Kingdom of Canada. The best you deserve, the best you will have. Peace, prosperity, and love. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
And with that, I'd like to thank you for being here with me, Your Excellency, and we'll bring this to a close with peace, love, and prosperity. And thank you, everyone, for taking the time to be with us today, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.